So tell me a little bit about your job. You're out here selling water, patronizing you. Tell me about it.
Yeah, we know it's what today we do get a day-to-day living, you know?
Yeah.
Honest living, honest hustle, honest bread, you know, sell water. Yeah, you don't see it, you know, it's not that easy to forget a regular 9 to 5, you know what I mean?
It's
So,
not.
no.
Why you say that?
Yeah, maybe address we live, you know, and where you look.
What do you mean the address?
I just live in a community, in a poor community.
I see.
So what we do, like, you got nothing good to offer, you know.
I
Most
see.
people watch you, especially come from a poor community, people look at you like you got nothing to offer.
Right.
But then faith to realize from the worst come the best. You see it, and you know, out is selling what is an honest hustle, get me through day to day.
I see. How long you been doing this?
I sell like a year now, you know.
A year. So what you do before?
Well, I had my own business first, you know, to sell sneakers
I
and
see.
t-shirts, you know, and
Vending.
tribulation, you know, child tribulation, you know, and ups and downs, and here I'm trying to start again, you know.
I see. I'm sorry about that.
Positively, you know.
Right. Blessings, brother.
Yeah, my name is Randy London. I've been living here for quite some time, since I was a child.
I see.
I came to the job fair just to see what kind of opportunities.
So you were born in
is out.
Guyana?
I was born in Guyana.
Wonderful.
I was born in Guyana, but I grew up here.
Okay.
I went to school here, went to college here, everything
Wonderful.
here. But I'm planning on moving back, you know, within a few weeks, maybe a few months, you know, depending on how things go. And I just came to the job fair to see, you know, what kind of employment opportunities is back home in Guyana for me.
Yes. How you feel about what you're seeing so far?
Good. I feel good. I left my resume at quite a few places.
You did.
And I'm excited. You know, I'm excited to hear back from you know, from a few prospects.
Wonderful.
So,
In
yeah.
terms of your skill sets, Randy,
Yeah.
what are you offering? Like, what area is your specialty?
So my specialty is managerial. I worked in quite a few positions. They're all managerial. My last employment was I was a general manager of this volunteer company in Tennessee.
I see. And so you are prepared to return to Guyana if you find some, you know, a line of work in your field that
Absolutely.
would offer you the right compensation and benefits package and so on.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm fairly confident that I will find something
Right.
soon.
What is it that is attracting you right now? What?
I don't know. Guyana is growing a lot, and I don't know. I want to be a part of it.
Hundreds of Guyanese living in the United States, Canada, and as far as Europe showed up to learn more about the employment and investment opportunities in Guyana at the end of July when the Private Sector Commission, in collaboration with the government of Guyana, hosted a Guyana Diaspora job fair in Queens, New York. The job fair was historic in the sense that for the first time in the country's history, industry leaders, that's businesses from across the private sector, facilitated by the government through the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, are demonstrating their recognition of the wealth of resources, economic and social capital in the diaspora. It is no secret that traditionally Guyana is known as a source country for migrant labor. Confirmed in several publications and reporting from credible organizations over the years, this job fair confirmed two simple facts that Guyana Tapestry has been hitting home ever since we started. Those are one, that the diaspora, estimated to be larger than the country numerically, is a reservoir of capacity. And two, if leveraged, the resources in the diaspora can play a critical role in supporting the unprecedented transformation underway in Guyana. But how? And why would businesses in and the government leave Guyana, where there is apparently so much joblessness, with unemployment rates at an estimated 12.4%, to find people in the United States, where folks work for higher average incomes and the unemployment rate is a mere 4.3%. Further, in 2021, an International Organization for Migration report entitled Planning for Prosperity, Labor Migration in Guyana's Emerging Economy identified Guyana as reporting the second lowest labor force participation rate in the region, that is Latin America and the Caribbean, at approximately 60.4%. What does that mean? That is the percentage of the civilian population that is either working, or actively looking for work, 60.4%. Indeed, the report indicated that Guyana could, in the medium term, meet some of the labor force shortfalls by harnessing its unemployed, its underemployed, and its discouraged workers. But even then, estimates are that the potential supply of labor will still be tens of thousands short of the requirements to realize Guyana's full growth potential, given the scope of the economic activity. On the face of it, it seems counterintuitive, unfair even to have a job fair. But imagine a scenario where, over the years since independence in 1966, more than 50% of all Guyanese with a tertiary education have emigrated to the United States alone. In other words, on average, more than 50% of all Guyanese who graduated from institutions like the Government Technical Institute, GTI, the Cyril Potter College of Education, that is the Teachers College, Gaisuko Training Center, Nursing School, etc., have migrated to the United States alone, more than 50%. This number does not take into account the number of skilled Guyanese in places like Canada, the United Kingdom, and other parts of Europe, the Caribbean, Africa, Asia. And this is according to the World Bank's 2021 International Development Association Project Appraisal document on the Global Partnership for Education grant. The officials at the job fair addressed some of these questions more directly as well.
And I was asked a question by a university student in Georgetown when he saw that we were doing a job fair in New York. And the question was, what about Guyanese living in Guyana? And I reminded him that on a daily and even on a weekly basis, companies are undertaking recruitment. Companies are advertising. I spoke to one company from GBTI and I think the Vihari Group. They have immediately 100 and close to 125 or 150 vacancies that they cannot find people in Georgetown. And that is why they decided to come out into the diaspora. They've advertised, they've undertaken a number of recruitment activities. And that is the same for many other companies. So for those who might be asking, well, why it is are we coming to the diaspora and undertaking and supporting the private sector? Because this is a private sector effort in the true sense. We are mainly facilitating and helping in organizing it. But why we're doing it is because we do not have this resident skills and capacity to ensure that the transformation and the pace at which the president and the people of Guyana want the country to go, we do not have the people right now in Guyana to do that.
Right now, if you had listened earlier, there is a tremendous shortage of labor force in Guyana, especially in the construction field, simple fields as plumbing, electrician, construction workers, truck drivers, more technical areas, engineering, etc. So years ago, people left Guyana to come to North America
employment opportunities,
for better opportunities,
yes,
better
yes.
enhance ourselves. And as some folks will say, we had a brain drain, where from all of the difficulties that Guyana went through, we paid our price, we paid our share. People migrated for betterment.
Yes.
People have come here, they've done better,
Yes.
they've educated themselves, and now we have something to offer in Guyana.
Yeah.
So we're looking at the reverse, for people to go back into Guyana now and to actually contribute
And bring some of the skills
that you have here.
we've learned, the capacity
Correct.
to help build the
And to be part of that development in Guyana. You know, there are tremendous opportunities, but you just can't sit here and say, expect it to be given to you in a platter. Just like many of us who came here, we work long hours, we work multiple jobs. It's a mindset that you have to have of wanting to do good.
The job fair, though welcomed by some Guyanese in the diaspora, evoked less favorable reactions from other Guyanese, wondering why greater efforts are not focused on lifting Guyanese out of poverty at home first and training them to fill the jobs and take advantage of the investment opportunities. After all, they say it was only in 2022 when the World Bank estimated that about 48% of Guyanese still live below the national poverty line, which is about, at the time, was about the highest in the region, Latin America and the Caribbean. And that is based on World Bank's poverty line for upper middle income countries. That is to say that some 48% of Guyana's approximate 800,000 people population live on about $5.50 US per person per day. Poverty rates are reportedly disproportionately higher in the interior areas, where those communities have limited access to economic opportunities, to the major jobs and thoroughfares, healthcare facilities, and other basic public services. It is a compelling case indeed, all things considered. And the Chief Investment Officer in the Office of the President, Dr. Peter Ramsarup, responded to some of these concerns when pressed further about them at the job fair.
As Guyanese look back at Guyana, and they look maybe why they left or why their parents left, we have all kinds of stories.
Right.
But I think first I tell people you have to have a passion and want to go back home. Once you get past that passion, then you have to figure out the reality. And how do I match the workforce? We need engineers,
Right.
we need technicians, we need the investors, both small and large. We have over 100 US companies investing in Guyana right now. Over 100 US companies,
Wow.
right?
And that's running the spectrum. in
Spectrum
terms of
from size, from true American owned to Guyanese owned
Guyanese
American
diaspora,
companies,
right.
diaspora in Guyana.
Yeah. The investment opportunities, as you're mentioning, they are immense.
Yes.
And just the buzz, just walking through Georgetown, I had the opportunity to travel all the way to Charity on the Pomeroon to talk with Guyanese. I spoke to people on Charity Stelling. What do you say to Guyanese who are seeing all of this? And I know that you're an intelligent man, and you know there in certain circles there's a sense of disengagement.
Yes.
What do you say to them to relieve?
They have to look, and I use the term better has come. But I explain it very simple. If I was living in a village that for 30 years I had to walk through mud, right? And even if I paid a taxi, I had to pay $500 for the taxi to go in the hole. Now we've built that road, right? Now I've got that extra $500 in my pocket. My kids now, I don't have to wash their clothes every night. We're building these hospitals. I don't have to now travel to Georgetown. So if I run a formula and we're building new schools within that area, right? We're giving out the cash grants. We're giving out the scholarship, gold scholarships. So money is coming to me. You know, we've increased the tax threshold last year. We can probably increase it again next budget. So if you calculate how much more disposable money you have in your pocket, you're going to realize I am getting the oil money. I got a better example to answer your question. I met a taxi driver the other day that said, Peter, you know, we're not getting what you guys talking about. And I said, let me just go back to you 4 years ago. How much runs did you used to make to the airport? He said, I'll get one a day. I was lucky. He said, today, boy, I can't keep up with it. I need to buy 3 taxis. I said that's the oil money. The fact now all of these people are coming in, you can't even keep up with your one car. You now want to go buy 3 cars, right? That is the oil money coming back to you.
Indirectly.
Despite the objections from the standpoint of strict labor market economics, sentimentalities aside, there is a strong argument to support the Diaspora job fair. The labor force is simply not keeping up with the demand for certain types of skills and capacities necessary to support the pace and magnitude of the multi-sector development underway in Guyana. This, in part, also explains the growing influx of foreign workers in Guyana. Apart from the tens of thousands of Venezuelans already there are more Brazilians, Chileans, Cubans, Haitians, Jamaicans, Surinamese, and other nationals from across the region in Guyana than ever before. And just like the importance of immigrants to the US and other economies, similarly, those immigrant workers are crucial to helping sustain the expansion of the housing and other key non oil sectors. For example, in Guyana, it is apparent that if Guyanese are going to be part and parcel of the development happening in Guyana, as with most things, we have to take the initiative. It is also a reasonable expectation that the appropriate private and public sector agencies will take deliberate steps to reform and improve institutions, the rules of the game in the society, as it were. According to institutional scholar Douglas North in his 1990 edition entitled Institutional Change in Economic Performance, North refers to those humanly devised constraints that shape human interaction and create the incentives or disincentives in human exchange, whether those be economic, social, or political. And on the matter, there are in fact many reasons, justifications for why so many Guyanese live outside of the country in the first place. But we will leave it here for now. Family, this is Guyana Tapestry, and we are telling Guyana's immigration story. There is a lot happening in the country and across the global Guyanese diaspora, and so little being said to bring context and clarity on various dimensions of these issues and their relevance to diaspora communities, and in a way that people can understand and engage with. Guyana Tapestry is picking up the slack, balancing grassroots, man in the street reactions with important policy changes underway and how these affect the diaspora communities, right? The stories are fascinating and they deserve a broader audience. So tell another Guyanese at home or in the diaspora about Guyana Tapestry. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel. And in addition, check out our newly published website, GuyanaTapestry.com, right? We'll keep up with all the details there. Check out some of the stories we've been publishing, some of the stories being told. And guess what? We fancy now. We are verified on IG. So follow us for some of the coolest visuals from across Guyana and the global diaspora on Instagram. It's Guyana at Guyana_Tapestry. Guyana Tapestry is also on X, formerly Twitter, and TikTok. With the changing face of the country and diaspora, Guyana Tapestry wants to be your favorite hub for all the global happenings in the diaspora, right? And the updates. So go ahead, subscribe to the thing, let me grow the family. And until the next story, it's Chico with Guyana Tapestry. And it's one love, Guyana.
Diaspora have a wealth of knowledge that can be very, very helpful for the transformation and development that is currently happening in Guyana. Your input and your participation is very important, and we look forward for your participation more. We have seen a lot of persons from the diaspora came back home and open up businesses, offer services in Guyana, but I still think we can see a lot more. Your input and your experience is very, very important, and we welcome you back home as quickly as possible to help develop Guyana, a place where all of us can be proud of.
So in terms of your reason for living in the US, it's really the economic opportunities that has you here.
Yes. So, and there seems to be more opportunities in Guyana now. So now's the time I think I should.
Right. So in terms of that change, that shift that's happening, it makes you feel like home is an attractive place for you again.
Yes.
Wonderful.
And at the end of the day, it is home.
It is home.